Okay, g'day again. Right, my tacho has stopped working again. I did actually get it working. It had stopped because the bike's been sitting stationary for several years. That seems to be the story from what I've heard from forums and things there. They don't like sitting around. Anyway, I'll just quickly run through what's involved in getting this unit out. It's quite major. I said, it starts with the seat removal, the side cover removals, the tank cover, your two glove boxes, your windscreen, and then you can pull your dash panel out. All of this has to come off just so you can pull out the dash cover. Including this piece here, it's fitting. So this one's got two screws. You pull them out and then you pull it up. It slots in here. So everything else is pretty much straightforward. And to get the actual unit out, you've got two bolts either side here. These go underneath. Two bolts in there, like one either side and one down in here. Right, then you have, before you can remove it, you got your speedo. That's the main thing holding it down. And I found it's actually easier to pull this screw out of the bottom, this little screw. Down in here, that holds that on. Pull that up, and then you can pull it up. Pull it up that little bit. It's not so hard to get off, but it's really hard to get it back on when it's right down in here and you can't get your fingers in there. So doing that actually makes it a whole heap easier to get it back on. And you've got two wires here. That's your actual tacho wire. This plug there, pretty much the same as any other one. This normally just press down the tab. They don't come out easy, but press down the tab, pull it out. Same with this one. It's just got a regular tab, and it's got, which I'll show you in a minute, it fits into, the plug itself fits into the speedo, so you can pull that out, take it apart. These ones are a little different. You've got a it's probably easier to show you on the unit. I'll show you on the unit itself. Okay, we'll set this up. Because once I sit down here and start working on it, I can only hope that I'm actually in view of the camera. So I'll keep trying to keep it within the view. Okay. And these wires. That's the two main ones. These ones. These tab here. Get a little tiny screwdriver. You pull that tab out, and it'll pull out of that fitting on that framework. Then under here, you've got another little tab. You lift that up with a little tiny screwdriver and it will pull out. Okay, so be careful the wires, don't pull on the actual wires too hard. Try to pull on the plug if you can. I actually get the screwdriver under there, little tiny one. This one here, and I get that under the tab like that. And actually just, lever the plug out rather than pulling on the wires. Right, now that we've got it apart, I've done most of these screws already. And we're on too much magnification here for this. Pull it back a bit, right. Okay, you've got two 10mm nuts, 6mm thread, undo them. You got one here, another here, 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 and here. So you've got 4 screws. At this point, you can now get the cover off. When you do this plug here will fall out. You take the cover off. It fits into these rubbers here, so it's sort of a little bit tight. Now, let me go sit them. Where am I? Let's turn you down just a little bit. Okay. Quite sticky. Oh, I know what I didn't do. Yeah, as far as I'm trouble getting it off, I'll pull these wire plugs out. Give that a minute. No, the cover comes off. And that, yeah, the dial piece just fell on the ground. I'll pick that up in just a few minutes. I'll pick it up now. That's this piece. You'll notice there's a little sort of a notch piece. No, a notch, the opposite to a notch. Yeah, and that, yeah, have to get that back in place in that black cover that goes on top of here. But yeah, you've got to get this notch in the right place in the cover for it to go in. Everything I'm doing, so I'm putting all the pieces, the screws and bits and pieces that come out of the actual speedo unit, I'm putting them within the tape here just to keep them separate from the other screws and things. And that's so I don't forget to put any of them back in. Okay, once you get to that point, you've got these 2 screws here. These hold your plastic lens on it. But before I do that, I'm going to undo the actual tacho unit. You start here with your 2 wires, and you've actually got the colours written there: yellow, green, and green. Green's your earth. That's your power for your tacho. Undo these first, and the reason being is that you want to do this while the lens is still on, so that you're not actually pressing, because once you take the lens off, you don't want to be pressing on the needle or on the glass, you know, and making it dirty, bending it, yeah, or interfering with any way, and you've actually got to put a little bit of pressure on it. So yeah, that's why it's a good idea to take these off first before you take the lens off. Okay, and that's the 2 wires. As I said, they're written on there in case you forget. And these are the 2 that hold the unit in. So we'll take them 2 out. Okay. And those 2. And the lens can come off. Be careful where you put it, you don't want to scratch it. And this black cover comes off. And now you can take the actual unit out. Okay, that aside. Now what I did So I tested it. The first thing, Marcus, you don't want to reverse polarity either. So I put it sort of back in the cover, worked out which is a positive and negative, and I marked it on here so I can't get it mixed up. So yeah, positive and negative. You don't want to reverse the polarity or burn it out. Okay, what I did previously, and I could show you. Yeah, I'll show you. Maybe. So, bear with me a minute. I wasn't actually planning to do this bit on camera, so you're going to have to bear with me while I set it up a little bit. Yeah, negative one. Yeah. Okay. So we got our negative going to the negative terminal. I'll just hook that under there for now. Into the positive. Come on, get under there. Little fingers because I've got the camera on myself. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, test it. The reason why I'm using a bulb tester like this, firstly so I can make sure I've actually got the circuit, so if it's not working it's not an issue with my wires or anything like that. But secondly, it's to protect the system. You don't want to create a dead short. See this, the current is restricted by the bulb, so you're not going to burn anything out. Or actually you probably still could. If you had something that had a very low amp rate, you could still burn it out. So, but yeah. Anyway, as I said, that's to protect it. So now we'll come back to the unit. I'll have view here. So I'm going to hold the negative, the earth on the negative terminal. Test that we're still working. See, it's not actually working. This wire's a bit bodgy, I think. And this issue before, I should get a better wire. Right, get rid of that. Lights come off. Okay. Try it again. Still nothing. Okay. Nothing. Okay. Positive lights come off now. Anybody who makes videos, this thing is usually run straight forward until you actually put the camera on yourself. And then you start having issues that you don't normally have because you got the camera on, you're trying to do it quickly. Come on, stay on there. Actually, I know what I'll do. I'll put the solder down in there. Just stay on there better. Test it. Okay. Right. Now we've got current running here. So we'll go back to this again. Put the negative on the negative. Using this little thin wire too also restricts the current a bit. Yeah. See it moving. No. Well, that wasn't doing it when I first tested it. Putting current, because you're putting, so the maximum amount of current that it'd take, so. But that wasn't doing anything first time I tried it. And what I then did, because I figured, well, to buy just this unit in Australia anyway, $400 just to buy this unit, not the whole thing. I figured I got nothing to lose. Might be able to get a second-hand one, whole unit cheaper, but anyway. So that's why I started testing it. And what I found was when I touched it on this red wire, this is a positive wire, onto the other positive, I got a response. Very good response. And then when I went back testing it here, it started working again. I had previously moved the needle, so I didn't think that it was a stuck needle, but it may well have been just a little bit of corrosion down in here that it was, you should not have touched that on the wire then, hopefully that's still alright. Didn't short it. So I've actually sprayed a little bit of WB-40 just down in there where the, stop doing that. Down where the pin goes through the plastic, it's like a bearing, plastic bearing, in case that was sticking there when it's corroded. And the minimal amount of current wasn't enough to move it, is what I theorised. So anyway, that's what I've done. So I sprayed a little bit of WD in there. But when I was fiddling around with it before, playing around with it, I actually moved it too far. I didn't sort of think much of it until I put it back in and tested it was working, but it was idling at just over 1,000. I thought, that's going to muck people up. If people go to tune it, like it shouldn't idle at around 800. And so if people are reading that, tuning it, they're going to tune it wrong. They're going to be trying to drop the revs down because I've made the tacho inaccurate. So that was the reason I've taken it apart again now. And I'll be really pissed if I actually break it doing this, but I'm now going to try and what should I do? I'll hold that piece on the inside, hold that at full, and try and move it back to the 10. I only know that, from memory, that was as far as it went to the full 10, and when I was fiddling around with it, it actually put too much pressure on it and moved it. So, like it can't go past the 0 because there's a pin here. Alright, so I've reset it. So hopefully I didn't hear anything break, so we'll test it again now. So hopefully I've got a way of doing that. I'd be concerned that I might break it trying to put it back. I mean, I shouldn't have pressed that hard on it to start with and altered it. So, put my finger in the way, so, yep. Right, so working again. Yep. Right, pull that positive wire back off again. Okay, so as I said, that's how I initially got it working. I put the earth on here, and I'll put the positive onto that red wire, onto that terminal. And that's how I initially got it to work. And I've theorised that it's possibly just a little bit of carbon, a little bit, not carbon, corrosion on the actual needle itself where it goes in the plastic. So I've put just a tiny little bit of WD in it, and I've also blown air through it afterwards, you know, try and remove any dust or anything that might be in there. So anyway, hopefully it's good. As I said, I did have it back in after I'd sprayed the WD and tested on the bike and it was working, but yeah, I wasn't happy that I'd altered its position and it was reading inaccurately. So decided I really should reposition it to where it's supposed to be. And from memory, it was supposed to only go as far as there. So that's how it looked when I first pulled it apart. So hopefully I got it back in the right position. Alright, leave it at that. Hope that's helpful to you. And yeah, if you're doing those sorts of observations, do be careful with it. And yeah, if you get any dirt on there, you'll see it and it'll annoy you, and it's a really big job to pull it back out just to clean it. So yeah, make sure it's clean when you put it back together. Make sure your lens is clean. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.